Hey guys, it's Whitney, your family practice PA, and thanks for tuning into the video today. And today we are doing part 2 following our previous part 1 of Lose the Weight Forever. And so part 1 we talked about semaglutide, also known as Ozempic, Wegovy, or Rybelsus. And today we are going to be talking about a brand new medication just out on the market in the last month or two, made by the producer Lilly, and it is called Mounjaro. Its generic name is tirzepatide, but it is the only one of its kind in its class. So I'm going to go by its brand name, Mounjaro. So it is a GLP-1 and GIP agonist. So it's the first one that does both peptides that the stomach produces. And we really didn't understand how GIP agonists were going to be effective because they really didn't have a lot of effects on insulin by itself. But they discovered after the GLP-1 that if you combine the two, you get even greater effects of insulin production when glucose enters the bloodstream after we eat. So it's been incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible to see these weight loss results. Now, the difference between semaglutide and Mounjaro is new, and it is only FDA approved right now for type 2 diabetics that are also overweight or obese. So unlike semaglutide that has Wegovy that's FDA approved just for obesity or overweight, the Mounjaro is only for type 2 diabetics at this time. They are working on that FDA approval, but the first to market is for just type 2 diabetics that are overweight or obese. But it's still exciting to be looking out, even if you're not type 2 diabetic. I finally am getting semaglutide approved for even my pre-diabetes or impaired fasting glucose, so they don't have to be fully type 2 diabetics. I'm hoping insurance is going to start looking at Mounjaro in this way because Mounjaro's numbers are incredible. So without further ado, let's talk about those numbers and the results from the studies. So like I said, we have our GLP-1 agonist that I talked about with semaglutide being the most popular, most widely studied one. It's not the only one in that class, but it's just one that I focus and write the most of in my practice. But your provider could do something different. So always talk to them first before you make any decisions. But Mounjaro is the first of its kind that it uses both. And its results, they did a study with a head-to-head study, which are always my favorite because they can compare one medication straight head-to-head to the other medication. So semaglutide was studied at the 1 milligram dose. And if you have any question about those doses, make sure you go check out part 1 because I go into depth about semaglutide. But the 1 milligram dose of the semaglutide was looked at with Mounjaro, and the studies showed where at the 40-week mark of taking this, the 1 milligram of semaglutide averaged about 13 to 14 pounds of weight loss, where the Mounjaro averaged 15 pounds of weight loss. Now those numbers, you can even get better results than that, but just almost double the results of semaglutide was what Mounjaro got. At the 72-week mark in the studies, it had on average over a 52-pound weight loss for patients. And this is just with the medication. It's not studying if you added more exercise, if you really made those lifestyle modifications, eating better foods, more balanced diet, less starches, less sugars. So this is incredible what the potential is for this medication. So the medication is also a once-a-week injection. It's a subcutaneous injection, so it comes in a pen, just like Ozempic, Wegovy. Semaglutide has the oral form with Rybelsus. Mounjaro does not have that yet. I'm sure they're going to have more different medication or forms coming out. And like I said, this is a brand new class, so we're just in the beginning stages of it. But it's a once-a-week injection. And it starts out with a 2.5 milligram dose. So you just do that pen. Like I said in part 1, I'm going to do a video of the injectable so you're not so afraid of it, or just don't think you're giving yourself like this huge shot. We're talking about like a 4-millimeter needle in here, guys. So starts out 2.5 milligrams once a week for 4 weeks. And then it goes up by 2.5 milligrams every time. So then the next 4 weeks would be 5 milligrams. And then the next 4 weeks would be 7.5 milligrams. It goes all the way up to 15 milligrams. And how I talked about in part 1 is you go as far up to the 15th account, but you go as far as you can tolerate. So it has similar side effect profile as semaglutide or any of the other GLP-1 agonists. It has nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation are the most common. Now you need to look at the labels, talk to your provider. I'm not your provider with advice. You need to talk. This channel is to educate you, have you better prepared for your next appointment, do your research, then go talk to your provider about it. But the most common ones are those GI side effects. So if you reach a point that you can't tolerate, you're too nauseous, you're vomiting, any of those things, we're still here for quality of life, guys. So make sure you're not getting into an unhealthy situation. You still got to be able to take nutrients in. It's still very important. But what it does is you go to that point and then you ride that out. Okay, so we do have medications that can help with nausea and vomiting. I have a lot of my patients that will take ondansetron, Zofran, which is very common. Some other just lifestyle modifications, looking at too much acidic foods, different things, slowing down. It will make you feel fuller, faster, and longer. So it's slowing down that gastric emptying, just like the GLP-1 agonist, because that is a part of it. It's a two-part medication. You just get two peptides, that's where it is different and giving those even more incredible effects, is because it just has that increased insulin, takes that glucose, that sugar throughout the body into the muscles, uses it as fuel, burns it off, where it's not just sitting in the bloodstream. So we have all those effects, but if it gets too much, you need to let your provider know, and then we can help as much as possible, or we stay at that dose. So like I said, it starts at 2.5 milligrams, goes up to 15 milligrams. It's a once a week injection. The numbers are incredible. It gives that glycemic control, lowering that A1C, and just like the GLP-1 agonist alone, it gives us so much protection from cardiovascular disease, chronic kidney disease, pulmonary diseases, joint pain, all of that. We can get that weight off if we can lower those glucose levels. We're not getting those other chronic health conditions that come from it. You know, my diabetics with retinopathy, which is the vision changes, it causes permanent damage of the eyes. With the neuropathy, that horrible nerve pain. You know, with uncontrolled diabetes, we get those non-healing infections. It just wreaks havoc on the body. So these medications that, one, help us control the type 2 diabetes, but then on top of that gives weight loss, which gives better quality of life. I'm just so excited to see where this class of medication goes. If you have any questions about this medicine, the other GLP-1 agonists, if you have anything where you want me to make specific videos on certain disease processes, I'll do some case studies. Just make sure you comment below. I really want to see where this community can grow. I love talking to my patients, want to start talking to you guys more. Make sure if you got anything out of this video, hit that like button. I'm gonna have more and more videos coming out, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. I can't wait to hear from you guys. I want you involved in this and just see where this can go. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.